everyone, welcome to the Dark Match once again. This is our TNA Impact episode for the week. As usual, I'm Christopher Says Dark Match is Mastodon on the monotone.
I'm the match tracker of Dark Match, Make It Fire Free, and I am a free-armed alligator tonight.
This is Slick Rob, the Sea-Show's traitor.
Betrayal!
And I am your foxy friend Backlash, here with yet another edition of What is Iron Sheik Tweeting Now? Roseanne Barr ass bigger than the Olympic Stadium!
He's kind of right.
And if you don't think that's enough, she replied to him.
Oh, shit!
Now, excuse me if this impression kind of sucks, because I know it's going to, but Iron Sheik have shrinky dink due to roids. Iron Sheik fuck softly, carry tiny stick, get ready to rumble.
Roseanne Barr is now my hero.
Wow.
Yeah, that
Did Iron Sheik tweet back to her?
I don't know. They might have gotten into it, but if we get into this, we'll be here all night.
But yeah, Mega Fighter, I think you might be the first person in history who's ever said that.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Anyways, we move from that crazy to this crazy. Impact!
Woo.
Now, maybe this is because I don't watch Impact unless I have to, and even then I really have to twist my own arm. But have they been doing this previously on Impact Wrestling thing other than tonight?
I
I
think.
think so.
Stupid! So stupid!
I thought it was crazy average. I thought the big match that they put on was all right. The rest of it was give or take.
You know what? The matches tonight are kind of okay, but it's all of the stupid that's in between that I'm going to have a problem with. And this was really stupid, this opening thing, because I don't know.
Sting...
I feel like they're trying to be different, but they suck at it.
Here's the thing I find incredibly stupid about this. Excuse me if I'm interrupting. I don't know protocol. Sting is the man who spearheaded taking down the entire NWO. Yet he can't figure out how to deal with a bunch of thugs calling themselves aces and eights. He can't figure out that he can't take them on alone when there's like 6 to 8 of them.
Well, then again, Sting has always been kind of an idiot.
How many times did he get tricked by the NWO and WCW?
My point exactly.
Exactly.
Still, there were times where he whooped the NWO's ass.
Yes, but those were brief and fleeting.
And he was never allowed to properly go over Hogan.
Of course not. It's Hogan.
Speaking of Hogan, guess who got injured in the beatdown last week?
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't do that when a man is being held together by metal and wires.
As Sting mentioned, he's talking about, he's got mesh and titanium plates in his back, and more you're talking about? I mean, he's been a cyborg.
He was saying it was Aces and Eights' fault, and I said, no, I think he's always been a cyborg.
Yes.
If Hogan were a cyborg, an actual cyborg, then TNA would be so much better.
He could form a tag team with RoboCop.
Yeah.
And then in order to counter such a scourge, they'll develop Mecha Steiner.
But yeah, the gist of this promo is Sting comes out and he's like, I don't like Aces and Eights. Austin Aries comes out and says, I don't like them either. Then Kurt Angle comes out and says, me neither. And then Bobby Roode comes out and says, I don't like James Storm. So
I'm going to blame everything on him.
While having his mic feedback. This will not be the only technical difficulty Impact has tonight.
But, yeah, Roode essentially asserts that Storm's been jealous of him since he had the title, since he took it from him in such a short time and he was never able to get it back. So he's orchestrated this entire thing to take it out on him and everyone else for some reason. Storm attacks from behind, and all the faces, they don't do anything to break it up.
That was
Yeah.
kind of hilarious, just watching everyone was like, should we do something? We should do something. Should we do something? We should do something.
It would have been better if they had just said, "Oh no, it looks like they're really going to hurt each other," and then just ran away.
Well, then again, this brought up something that I figured out. It's commentators do nothing when these kind of like beatdowns start happening. They don't try to break it up. They just comment on it. It's like,
Well, they're
Well, that's
common.
their job.
okay, it's their job to comment on actual matches, but when it's just like, oh shit,
you
James
expecting-
Storm is attacking Bobby Roode.
Okay, you
Yeah,
expect
you-
Mike Tenay to break this up.
Yes. What the hell?
Well, at the very least, I expect Taz to do something.
Taz's
Why?
neck is so
That's
broken.
why they have security.
No, the security have become wrestlers. Or
Kurt Angle's neck is in better condition than Taz's.
If you're hired to do color commentary, why in the fuck is it in your job description to break up brawls?
no, but see, Mike Tenay. The only way Mike Tenay would try to break it up is by going, "Guys, stop! What are you doing?"
Mm.
All he could do is shout at people.
Yeah, there is that one time he shouted at Jeff Jarrett, but But Mega, you're just being dumb again, and we talked about that.
Whatever.
So they fight for a while, and eventually it gets broken up.
By Kurt Angle, no less. The most decrepit of the three.
Yep.
Yeah, got a point there.
And we come back from commercial, and Bobby Roode is going backstage, and he's ranting like nobody listens to him. Why don't people just take my word for this? Nope, too obvious. Somebody else.
Well, besides the fact that you're a heel, here's my thing. If I were James Storm, I would have gone on the mic immediately afterwards, like, why would I need to set up all this Aces and Eights shit? I'm second in the Bound for Glory series. All I need to do is just beat Samoa Joe right now, and I'll be number one, and none of this will matter to me.
Mega Fighter, as much as Impact.
Also, there's the fact that his biggest threat is Samoa Joe, and Aces and Eights have done nothing against Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
But also Mega Fighter, I hate to be going into like automatic Impact is shit button because they've been taking steps to improve, but the reason why James Storm didn't do this is probably because Bobby Roode will be revealed to be right.
Yeah, it's too obvious. But then again, TNA has gone the obvious route before.
And they've bucked trends in a few departments lately.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we're getting hype for Chavo Guerrero.
No. Chavo Guerrero Jr. There is
Whatever.
a difference.
Okay, my bad. But yeah, it's basically just people talking about how awesome Chavo is. Whatever.
To be fair, Chavo's good in the ring. It's just.
Oh no,
it's
not
Chavo.
arguing with you there, but
He spent the last few years in his run at WWE jobbing to Hornswoggle.
don't remind me. Like, this is a guy who really just deserves better than what he got. Like, this actually should be as big as Impact is building it up to be, but it's not because Chavo is sadly nothing special in wrestling anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, anyway,
He's a decent
Well-
worker, that's about it.
yes.
Yeah, we'll get to it. It's old Chavito.
All right. Anyways, next we have a Knockouts tag team match, and they go out of their way to remind us that Madison Rayne has a crush on Earl Hebner, and it's always a pleasure to see Earl Hebner with tongue.
Yeah. But even though this wasn't really too reinforced in the match proper, beyond like having a close up on Hebner early on, sort of looking a bit uneasy about the whole situation.
Then there's the finish, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But there are actually some very nice spots. Probably the foremost of which where Mickey James and Tara had Madison Rayne in like a double Boston Crab with them grabbing one leg of hers.
Yeah, that it kind of broke down at the end. I'm like, I'm not sure this is legal.
No, but it was fun, and Gail came in and ended up breaking it up with
Yeah,
a.
I talked
with
about how I talked about earlier one day. I don't know who I said it to, but I said, a tag team submission finisher would be pretty cool. And then I thought to myself, but then you'd be counted out.
Hmm.
That would just be
Yes, you're
stupid.
right.
Just all the face needs to do is hold, or your opponent needs to do is just stick in there for 5 seconds and they win.
Well,
Which apparently this did not apply in this match because it's TNA.
I guess. I mean,
DQs only happen when they want them to. Anyways, speaking of TNA logic, the finish is that Mickie James gets Madison Rayne into some kind of roll up, and how it goes is that both women have their shoulders down, and Hebner starts to count, and then at 2, Mickie gets hers up, but Madison is still down. So Hebner counts 3. They ring the bell. They start playing Mickey's music. And actually, one thing I forgot to mention, like I said, we're gonna have technical problems tonight. The Dixie-tron was broken during this match. It was black when they came out, and it wasn't fixed until the next segment. But anyways, everyone thinks Mickie won, and then Hebner raises Madison's arm in a blatant screw job, because that's new.
that's new, Earl Hebner.
Yes. When was the last time a Hebner did a screw job? I don't think ever, really.
You know what's sad is, though?
It's month.
Given that Madison was the only TNA original in this match, the only way she could actually win is if she started making out with the ref. That is several kinds of sad.
Wasn't Gail Kim a TNA original?
Oh, you're right.
No. She started out in WWE with like
No.
a sort of vaguely Matrix gimmick.
No. She was in TNA before that, I think.
No. She was in WWE in like 2003. Before, like, I think that this was
Yeah, I
before
know she was in
made
WWE.
it big in TNA.
No, yeah, she did start out in WWE because
Okay.
I knew she
mean to
was in
start
WWE
arguing.
in 2003. I just couldn't remember if she was in TNA before that or not.
But I mean, the next segment, I thought there's some bit of intelligence to, like, where Sting basically tasks Aries with deciding the ins and outs of the X division, and
Oh yeah, this was because Open Fight Night got messed up by Aces and Eights last week. We're doing the Open Challenge thing that this reality show gimmick they've been doing for the X Division title tonight.
But yeah, but I think it's actually kind of good because, like, I remember there was some discussion on this show in particular about how now that Austin Aries is dropping the X Division belt to get the World Heavyweight Championship, devalues. But having him in his sort of mentor position and sort of deciding the ins and outs, maybe judging, making some cuts, it makes him more involved, and it kind of it makes it seem like he's almost like giving them like more inspiration, grooming them, giving them advice, and like almost like stern motivation. Like he pretty much presides over it and tells them how they could get better. But like I wonder if this is going to continue.
Well, maybe. Though I thought it was kind of weird because Sting's like, I've got too much on my mind with this Aces and Eights thing, and Aries like, well, so do I. He's got a point.
Yeah.
True.
Not everything's about you, Sting.
But yeah. Following this, we get a promo for Sam Shaw, who got attacked by Aces and Eights. That's why they're doing Gut Check tonight, all in one night. And we get more people talking about Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Yeah, the best of which was Gunner. Hey, you
Fucking
better watch
Gunner.
out. Chavo's tough, but he's not tough.
I
like
keep forgetting Gunner exists.
We all do.
No one's tougher than Gunner. Gunner, I'm pretty sure everyone's tougher than you.
I'm tougher than Gunner.
Yeah. So following this, we get our gut check match, which is Sam Shaw versus Douglas Williams, and it was an okay match, but the highlight of this match had nothing to do with the match because we see 87% signs popping up in the crowd, and then Al Snow shows up with a bunch of security guys, and sure enough, oh fuck, I'm forgetting his name.
Joey Ryan.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
Joey Ryan cold cocks him.
Mm-hmm. I love this angle.
Yeah,
I
it's
swear.
making it nice and subtle.
Yeah.
But yeah, if there was a highlight in the match, I mean, Shaw did this pretty nifty like escape where he just jumped over one of Douglas Williams' attacks, and he also did a very kind of clumsy Orton backbreaker.
Yeah.
But it's a very short match. Doug Williams wins with Rolling Chaos. That's about it.
Fuck
And-
yeah, Douglas Williams.
And Al Snow gets punched the fuck out.
Oh yes, that was the glory.
Wait, rolling chaos is? But I thought it was called Chaos Theory.
They called
Yeah,
it.
that's what this.
That's what Taz fucking called it. I'm sorry.
He's been around Michael Cole for too many years.
Yeah.
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 The Rolling Chaos Power Slam.
But hey, we've been building up to this all night. It's time for the debut of Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Well, no, you missed the Austin Aries.
Oh shit! Yes, I
Back.
did. Oh, okay, yeah. So Austin Aries is backstage and he's talking with Rashad Cameron, Kenny King, Sanjay Dutt, and Dakota Darso, basically trying to decide which one of them is going to face Zema Ion tonight. And Ion is just kind of chilling in the corner, so Aries tells him to like make himself useful. And I guess this involved replacing a picture of Aries that was hanging on the wall.
Hmm.
That was weird, but okay, fine.
Now give me some coffee, Zima.
And all that really happens is they just kind of jaw jack with each other, and Aries decides that Rashad Cameron will not be facing Ion tonight.
Yeah.
And he basically tells him, give me your reasons why you shouldn't get cut. And Dutt basically says that, oh, if I hadn't dislocated my shoulder, I would have won. Cameron is like, fuck you, you've been around 6 years and you never won the belt. Why would you need it now? Kenny King singles out Darso and says, like, oh, he's just a jobber. And so Aries cuts Cameron.
Yeah, the next one
Yeah.
of these I'll have more to say because it's actually kind of funny what happens. But yeah, not much more to say about this promo. Wasn't bad, but kind of unmemorable.
Yeah.
So yeah, following commercial, they bring out Chavo,
Yeah.
and I'm surprised they didn't really have him bashing the WWE too much. They
Yeah.
just really had him putting over TNA.
You know, maybe it's just me, but I swear, Chapo sounds like a Mexican version of me.
Oh God!
I
Thank
swear
you
he
for
has the
that.
same naze in his nasaliness of his voice. It can't just be me, can it?
He's Mexican Alley.
I'm not Allie. What the fuck?
Hey, give the new guys some credit.
Uh,
And another thing I'll give TNA credit for was that they didn't really bring up Eddie too much. They did mention him, but they mentioned all the Guerreros, so
Yeah, they associated him with more with his family than with the one that broke out the most.
yeah, I can't call them out for exploitation. So point to TNA.
Yeah, they didn't mention that Eddie's in hell, so that's good.
I remember it was at this point we were watching. No Leaf was commenting on how Chavo Guerrero. He was like, oh, he's not that great of a promo, and then Kid Cash came out
yes.
You still work here?
rambling.
Yeah, him and Gunner both work here
Yes,
somehow.
fucking Gunner. Why?
Well,
Okay.
if you want to make Chavo look good on the mic,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, Gunner didn't really say shit. All he did was just like stand there and bulge his eyes out a little, like he's been doing a lot lately.
That's all he's ever done. And
He's pretty good
That's
at
all
it.
he's good for.
whenever he has a title, he tries to eat it. So they just kind of taunt him, and eventually Chavo attacks, but he gets overwhelmed, and this brings out someone else we didn't know still worked there, Hernandez.
I fucking hate Hernandez.
They're really doing this. They're making LAX version 3.
Well, it seems like they're faces, so like I don't think any stable will be involved. They're just some kind of tag team. Wait, who are the tag champs? Oh yeah. Daniels and Kazarian, right? Am I right?
Yeah, but the titles have nothing to do with any. People
Yeah.
forget about them.
They're definitely subordinate to that angle.
Yeah, besides, technically, Daniels and Kazarian are basically the tag team division.
Yep, can't disagree with you.
So their idea to revive their tag division is to put Hernandez back in it.
To be fair, Chavo's a good tag team player, so.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah, Chavo's great in tag teams. I just really hate Hernandez, and I think he's dangerous, and I don't think he should be in.
I agree with you.
Would have loved to have seen him wrestle.
Yeah, but hopefully good things will come of this, but it's TNA, so it could be painful. Anyway,
Can you sum up TNA in that whole phrase? Hopefully, good things will come of this.
yeah, because TNA has so many good opportunities, and they only take about 10% of them. That's my opinion of this company as a whole. All right, so next we have James Storm is backstage with Kurt Angle, and Angle's like he's trying to say, like, how do we know you're not involved with Aces and Eight? How can we trust you? And James Storm's like, look, if they do anything tonight, I'll be there to stop them. Remember this. So we have another commercial break, and it's time for the gut check results because they're doing it all in one show. And Al Snow is just pissed about Joey Ryan, and apparently he missed the entire match. Again, remember this. And they just talk about Sam Shaw for a little bit.
Oh yeah, Al Snow is still pissed off about Joey Ryan. That was the most amusing thing about these gut check segments, where how that decided his decision making process, and basically he was just completely distracted. I'm waiting for the inevitable Al Snow returns to the ring in TNA match.
Oh my god, he was shit. The last time he wrestled was, I think, in 2010 at Hardcore Justice, and he was shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just talk for a while, and then we recap. Claire the crack whore rapist.
Okay, can I say my terrible joke now, or
Go ahead.
you know I'm going to do it anyways?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, when this angle first started with Claire claiming that AJ was the father, I said this. Styles Clash the baby, it will solve everything.
Oh,
And
that's horrible.
yes, it is.
Got a point.
And actually,
Do not endorse this, No Leaf.
the sad thing is, now every time I see Claire, I start desiring AJ to do it more and more.
Oh my god, Claire is kind of reaching. She's reaching Vicky Guerrero levels of screechiness, except it's not endearing.
Has she reached Karen Angle levels of annoyance?
Yes, that's a
No.
but she's not there yet. So yeah, I'd say she's like 60% Karen Angle now.
I mean, you see, the thing about it is, she was annoying, and I was like, it's kind of like Karen Angle. But then again, she wasn't so annoying that it called attention to herself. I just didn't bother paying too much. So, not yet. Thank Christ.
I hate
So-
this fucking angle. I hate it so much. This is just like this is the worst thing TNA has ever done. Like, screw Jenna Maraska and Sharmell. This is TNA's lowest point.
Ouch.
So yeah, I'm surprised they haven't brought up the whole bit where this is supposedly AJ having an affair against his wife.
You know that
I'm
AJ
surprised they haven't brought
show,
his wife and kids into this yet.
they'll show up eventually.
I'll do it.
Yeah, there will be a scene where AJ's outside of his apartment and she's throwing his shit at him, including his N64 and copy of Fire Pro Wrestling 2 or Virtual Pro Wrestling. But nonetheless, should wait for that.
So yeah, we get a Bound for Glory series match. It's
Greener pastures.
It's AJ Styles versus James Storm, and this was a damn good match.
Yeah, a lot of actually nice hard shots. The spots really hit their mark. I mean, these two are consummate professionals, and they've been in the company for as long as like anyone can remember.
Oh yeah, it's a good back and forth match, and these guys work really well together.
Yeah, there's this great one where Storm was going to go for the super kick, and AJ just went out of the way and hit a Pele instead.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that really bugged me is they kept cutting to Claire in the audience, who looked constipated.
Hmm.
And then we get to the finish, which
Or lack thereof.
basically just AJ hits a Pele kick, and this pretty much knocks Storm out. But before he can do anything, Aces and Eights jump in the ring, and they start beating the shit out of AJ and the ref, but not Storm. Now, it could be because he was already knocked out and wasn't a threat, but again, they could be just hinting.
Oh, yeah, one thing that amused me about this group was that like they had like everyone in masks. One of them had very conspicuous long stringy brown hair. That was Cliff Compton. Oh!
Oh, God. Now, as dumb as this Aces and Eights thing is, what they decided to do with the Bound for Glory series with this match is even dumber, because, as you recall, how DQs work, but by any logic, James Storm should have been disqualified. And here's how DQs work: the guy who wins, with big air quotes there, gets 3 points, and the guy who got himself disqualified loses 10 points. This was a big point last year when Samoa Joe finished the series with negative 10 points.
Well, hopefully they'll have some kind of like 2-minute segment where they say because of technicality AJ Styles didn't necessarily get himself disqualified.
No, because James Storm should have lost 10 points. Like, even if it wasn't intentional, because that was another plot point where Jerry Lynn lost RVD 10 points in the series last year when he got involved in one of his matches.
Hmm.
But instead, they announced after the break that both AJ and James Storm have received 2 points each because
Interesting.
it went to a no contest.
Yeah, that throws a very unnecessary spanner in the works.
Yeah.
It-
Bad show.
Hmm.
No biscuit.
That's not how no contests work.
I mean, if maybe if they had just attacked the referee, then yeah, I could kind of buy a no contest, and they could have said like, "Oh, what do we do with no contest? Oh, just give him 2 points." But no, it was
If they attacked the referee first and then they attacked AJ, that might have made sense.
but they didn't.
They attacked AJ first.
Yeah, I know they did. I was saying what might have made sense.
Yeah, so
All right. So following this, James Storm is backstage being asked by,
Jason Irby.
I just call him Fuckhead, if he's involved with Aces and Eights, and he just gets pissed and walks away.
No, he threatens him first.
That's what I meant by getting pissed.
Okay. Yeah.
I might be being too
So,
generous.
so is this the Josh Matthews of TNA?
No, Josh Matthews has dignity, integrity, and he's
No,
Josh
I
Matthews.
meant in the way that Josh Matthews always tends to ask the wrong thing at the wrong time and get his ass beat.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Just do my job. Maybe Hervey should have said that, but he seemed to be corpsing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So now it's time for gut check, and they've got Pritchard, Taz, and Al Snow in the ring. And they bring out Sam Shaw, and here's where I just said, "Fuck this show," because Al Snow goes first, and he's like, Sam, I've known you for a long time, but I didn't get to see your match because I was dealing with Joey Ryan, so I'm gonna say no.
He's like, love to shove it up Joey Ryan's ass and say yes, but I'm gonna say no anyway.
What the fuck, Al Snow? How long was it between when they filmed that thing backstage with them and this? You couldn't fucking watch it on a monitor. It was 3 minutes long.
Yeah, just when you think you have the answers, Al Snow goes and changes questions.
Ugh. But to make a long and very pointless promo, but very, very short, Pritchard and Taz both say yes. So Sam Shaw gets a contract. Hey,
And
say
then
hello to Alex Silva and Taylor Hendricks, who have done jack all in this company.
then he hugs all three of them. At which point I was kind of like, why is he hugging Al Snow? I would have gone.
Well, he kind of pushes Al Snow first, then he just hugs him.
I would have gone. Thank you, Taz. Thank you, Pritchard. Fuck you, Al Snow.
Punch.
Yeah, and punch him in the face also.
Yeah. Anyways, we get another Austin Aries segment backstage with the X Division, and he's talking with all of them again, letting them state their case on why they think they should get to face Emma Ion.
This
And
is actually
Kenny
kind of
King
cute.
and Sanjay Dutt, they both make very good cases, and Dakota Darso, he's just like, I just want it. Special about me, I just want it.
The way Aries actually sort of dressed him down was pretty funny. He's like, oh, you got Sanjay Dutt, you're Indian American. You got Kenny King, African American. You got Darso, your father, Russian American. Making a brief nod to his
He was just a sympathizer.
Crusher cruise ship.
Then basically he just puts himself over as being average, and he's like, well, that's not the X Division.
I can't disagree with him there.
Exactly.
Hmm?
So Darso just storms out while Aries says, tell your dad hello, his repo business is great.
Okay, that was clever.
Oh, yeah. That's Austin Aries for you. If you're going to rip off someone, rip off CM Punk. At least then you'll be entertaining.
Yep.
So we get a commercial break, and then we have Zema Ion coming out to the ring. And then Aries is backstage with Kenny King and Sanjay Dutt. And while they're filming this, Bruce Pritchard actually afraid. And just like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to be here, and backs away.
So he pretty much Road Warrior animals the whole thing. Like, oh, wait, what's...
Oh, will we ever get to see Botchamania 209? Anyways,
Well, it came out.
he basically says that they're both very good, but he doesn't trust that Sanjay Dutt's shoulder is fully healed, so he gives it to Kenny King. So that's our match. Kenny King versus Zema Ion for the X Division title. And guys, I'm just going to say this now because Magpie isn't here. Kenny King kind of sucks.
Oh no, he doesn't.
Yeah,
What were
he kind of does, and I can see why Ring of Honor kept him in the tag team division.
what were you unimpressed by?
The man, like, it's the same problem he had at Destination X. The man has no stamina. He gassed out very quickly into this match, and Ion pretty much had to carry him for the rest of the match. Like, it wasn't as bad as Destination when he passed out trying to do a super.
But see, the thing about that, like, I mean, I can't even verify that myself. I can't agree with that myself because I've seen him live in an ROH show working like a over 20-minute match, and he was certainly not gassed at all.
I don't know what happened.
That could just be the way that he sells. Like he could just sell out of breath like very well.
Well, then he needs to tone it back because this ain't.
Perhaps.
I have no comment.
Yeah, it's an okay match. Ion pretty much has to. That was my opinion, though. Anyways,
We shall see.
and the finish is that basically Bobby Roode, who we thought had left earlier tonight, comes out and he attacks Kenny King from behind, blindsides him, and throws him back into the ring. Ion hits the moonsault and gets the win. So that's what Bobby Roode is doing now. He's just pissed at the X Division. Okay.
Well, he hates
See,
the
now
X-
this totally proves that James Storm is an ace in eights because wait,
Because Bobby
Well-
Roode logic.
Well, here's the thing. Bobby Roode has, like, his whole thing with Austin Aries is that Bobby Roode holds the X Division in extreme contempt. So the question would be, why would he help out the X Division champion? Which my only answer to that would be that he's screwing over the guy that Austin Aries picked. Because he's that petty about Austin Aries.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I can buy it. And this brings out Austin Aries, who just attacks Bobby Roode from behind.
Bobby Roode's just not having a good day.
Anyways, following this, we get we get a promo from Bully Ray, and I don't know if it was now or when they were asking him about Chavo, but at some point during the night, didn't he say, "Didn't I tell you not to bother me when I'm on my Twitter machine?"
Oh yeah, that was about Chavo. Yeah, that was great.
That was all I remembered of him tonight, though, aside from the match. But we're talking promos.
Bobby Roode needs to open up a promo school because even though he told me nothing during his promo for his Kurt Angle match, I was still interested in it. I was like, I want to hear what he's got to say. You're not telling me anything? Okay, it's still a good promo.
Well, the match is it's another Bound for Glory series match, Bully Ray versus Kurt Angle, and this was a damn good match.
Yeah, what I notice about Bully Ray is that even as a heel, when he knows who he's up against, when he's up against someone very skilled, he takes it incredibly slow. Like, the difference between this match and his match against Aries, like, way back a few pay-per-views ago, was that he was just being completely cocky, giving him incredibly hard shots and not looking back. But, like, now Bully Ray's up against someone who clearly intimidates him.
Yeah.
So, he played it that way and did very well.
This is really back and forth match too.
I'd say the only problem I had with it, though, was they went to commercial, they came back to show Bully Ray do a neckbreaker, and then they went right back to commercial.
Yeah, TNA's been doing that a lot lately, where they'll cut back just for one move and then go back to commercial.
That's very ill-advised.
Well, I don't know. I think that's like they just want like they interrupt the middle of a commercial break just so people won't start changing the channel, which I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But yeah, it's a good match. And yeah, it felt like a main event because
Yeah.
each guy did their finisher. They kick out of their finisher. They go for their bigger finisher, but they both countered. And finally, Angle hits an angle slam and gets the win. And then Aces and Eights comes out because you didn't see that coming.
Oh noes.
And James Storm hit the spring very late.
Yeah, and he's also the one who they also had time to play his music before he came out. What the hell? So
I'd call it a botch if it wasn't planned out ahead of time.
This sounds really shallow, but like, here's another reason why it could be James Storm, because getting an Aces and Eights hand is bad luck. Sorry about your damn luck.
TNA's not that clever. You're giving them too much credit.
Yeah.
But yeah, AJ Styles, Austin Aries, and Sting all hit the ring, and then James Storm hits like 20 seconds after they're already getting beaten down, and Aces and Eights retreat as soon as he gets there. And Kurt Angle starts arguing with him.
Because immediately Aces and Eights flee, so that means that either James Storm is the scariest motherfucker in the world, or yeah.
So that was Impact. Kind of unremarkable.
But
Yep.
good
You
main
didn't
event.
see Joseph Park the entire episode.
I know why.
Oh yeah, shit.
Aw.
What the hell?
That.
It's like they have something good and then they just don't put it on TV. That's just how they roll.
Bad TNA. Bad. And
No biscuit.
I already did that joke. Anyways, before we wrap up here, we'll run down the Bound for Glory series, the current standings. Samoa Joe is still in first place. By the way, he was not on this show tonight. What the fuck? With 47 points. James Storm is right behind him with 45 points. We have Kurt Angle in third place with 34 points. And in fourth, how the hell did this guy get in the fourth? Mr. Anderson with 30.
House shows.
Jeff Hardy is right behind him with 28 points, followed by Christopher Daniels at 26. Rob Van Dam is still in seventh with 21 points. AJ Styles has moved up to eighth place. Yes, that is actually an improvement for him with 16 points. Magnus is in ninth with 14 points. The Pope and Bully Ray are tied for 10th with 7 points apiece. And in last place with 5 points, it's Robbie. Why the fuck am I in this series? E.
Yeah.
Seriously, why is he?
Poor Pope. Poor
And
Pope.
coming in at 6 points is Velvet Sky's ass. Oh wait, sorry. That's where that came from.
You get 5 points from a count-out victory too. So how the fuck did he pull that off?
I don't know.
I also don't care. Anyways, what gets more screen time than Jay Lethal? I'll start. Bruce Pritchard gets more screen time than Jay Lethal, but he gets it in promos he's not supposed to be in.
The toughest motherfucker on the planet, Gunner, gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Ah, I was gonna do Gunner. Okay.
Hernandez gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Ooh.
Yes, Chavo cutting a promo. Or no, you know what? To be fair, people hyping up Chavo Guerrero gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
People hyping up Chavo Guerrero to come out and cut a promo. Gets more screen time.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll do it for the dark match. For TNA at least, we'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe to us on Blip TV or YouTube to keep up to date with all of our videos. You can also go and give us a like on Facebook. We're also on Twitter at DarkMatch Wrestling, and we're also on Twitter individually, which you can see there. Don't forget to check out TRE Productions. They graciously host all of our content, plus lots of other great videos. We're also on Reviewtopia in the community section. And last but not least, visit us at the Spooning Experiment where you can come and chat with us. For everyone here, I am your foxy friend Backlash.
I'm Christopher Says.
I'm Mega Fire Free.
I'm Slick Rob, the trader.
And I guess that's it. Good night and good luck.